Gary Vee is a multi-millionaire that has helped hundreds of thousands of entrepreneurs improve their sales and marketing. His net worth is up to 200 million. He has millions of people, almost 6 million people following his LinkedIn page, where he always shares tips, inspiration, and everything that helps an entrepreneur market their products, get clients, and thrive. So that's why I spent hours looking at his old content, his old posts, to see and learn what Gary has to say about cold email. And I collected 4 big points that will help you succeed with cold email. So without further ado, let me share what Gary Vee has to say about cold emails. As we all know, he's pretty blunt. He doesn't limit himself. He blasts a lot of F words and S words, as you can see here. Yeah, the reason why I think we should take Gary Vee's advice is 2 reasons. Because Gary Vee is kind of our ICP, right? Well, maybe not our ICP, but he's definitely someone who probably majority of us would like to work with, right? Which means he's giving advice from the prospect side. Basically, he's giving advice from someone that you would be reaching out to. Meaning we're not taking advice from someone who has sent bajillion of cold emails, while Gary probably has, maybe not a bajillion, but we're taking advice by hearing how would our prospect would like to receive the emails, right? So here are 4 points that will help you understand how your prospects, your leads, expect you to send cold emails, what they don't like, what they do like, so you could, improve your cold email game and get more replies, book more calls, and close more deals. So first of all, something that Gary emphasized and something that I've been talking about, for example, in this video, you need to go heavy on the subject line. Now, here, let me read exactly what Gary Vee said. Send emails fully in the title. It works. It's respecting the person's time. Anything that's in the body in the email, that's the problem. That's 94.7, that's oddly specific chance that I'm going to look there, think that's a lot, and skip it. Meaning that Gary Vee here is talking about the subject line that you see in emails right here. Now, this is not a cold email, this is a newsletter, but this is the subject line that Gary Vee is talking about. Now, sending full emails full in the title might be a little bit of a hyperbole and exaggeration, but what Gary Vee means is to stop sending things like quick question. And that is because quick question doesn't tell anything to your prospect. That is something I've been telling you all in my videos for the past 1 or 2 months, right? Saying quick question will not work as good as these gurus who preach this type of subject line say it will, right? The problem about this occurs when you look at it from the prospect's perspective, and this is exactly what kind of perspective Gary Vee has, right? People send him thousands of emails, he only responds to a few, and that's why we should follow his advice. The thing is, subject line is misunderstood. People don't understand what it means. It literally means subject line, subject. In the subject line, you want to let the prospect know what the email is about. You don't need to have any silly psychology tricks to get them to open the email, right? You don't want to do quick question to spark curiosity or something. If you do it properly, yes, you do want to spark curiosity. You want to break patterns. But this quick question, first name X, company name, or company name partnership, no, that doesn't work. That doesn't tell anything about what you're offering, what your email is about. And if me, Gary Vee, your prospect, gets thousands of emails, hundreds of emails a day, and they see this, they're definitely skipping over this and are opening relevant emails. For example, emails that have normal subject line, like, I don't know, market research, cold email, leads, whatever it is, right? You still need to A/B test it, because this is not just one-time fix, right? I'm not going to tell you and it will work. No, but you have to test it and see what works. For me, what worked is simply saying market research while I was doing market research, because the prospect knows what the email is about. It's about market research, right? Simple as that. They read the email, maybe they want to respond to it later because they know the subject line. They can find the email later on easily because they'll see it like that, right? Market research. Now, if you saying quick question, you'll have a bajillion similar emails and the prospect will not find your email at all, because hundreds of people use the same subject line, and yeah, good luck with that, finding your email in the haystack, like a needle in a haystack, right? So that's the thing. Now, maybe, again, like I said, don't put your full email in the title, but let the prospect know what the email is about. You're selling content marketing, maybe project it as content marketing. Of course, if everyone in your niche, I don't know your niche, is sending that subject line, it's not going to work. So adjust it, see how you can make it a pattern breaking, more relevant to the prospect, yada yada, right? But again, this doesn't do anything. This doesn't add any value. Quick question. You don't message your professor in university and say, hey, quick question, hey, first name, what's the homework? No, you say homework, you say assignment, you say application, test, whatever it is, right? And that's how you should reach out to other people as well that you're cold emailing, just like you reach out to other normal people. You're not reaching out to anyone else unless you're pitching lizards. Yeah, you're pitching people, right? So reach out like you're pitching to people. Be respectful, provide value in the subject line, let them know what the email is about. It's simple as that, right? Now, another thing we have is emphasizing the first sentence. This is also something I've been talking about in videos and something I did in this video where I sent 1,000 cold emails to prove that it's not luck. And I kind of abused it to get a huge open and reply rate. Now, let me read what Gary Vee has to say. So that first sentence is everything. If I take a look at thousands emails I get a day, I don't have the capacity to reply to them all. But when I do reply, it's always because of the first sentence. Now, let me tell you why that first sentence is so important. Thing is, if you look at the email I just showed you right here, right, where you have the subject line, you also have next to it, what you have is the preview text. And the first sentence becomes the preview text of that email. As you can see here, the name of the sender, right, the subject line right here, and then here is the preview text. So whatever you say in the first line, in the first sentence of the email becomes the preview text, meaning that it's going to be read before the email is even opened. So that's where your chance is to kind of break a pattern, get the prospect curious, let the prospect know what the email is about further on, apart from the subject line, right? And the problem is most people have this for their first sentence and the preview text. Hey, first name, just like everybody else. It's terrible. You're sending like your name, right? Subject line, quick question, hey, first name. And you have a bajillion of these emails that people get, hundreds of them a day, and you're not standing out. You're not providing any value. So the prospect just sees that, boom, skipped, deleted, going to the spam folder, right? So what you want to do is abuse the first sentence in your emails. As you can see, I added this, which is a pattern breaking again, because if you're going to be sending this type of email in a sea of these kinds of emails, you of course are going to stand out, and you're going to do another thing, which is save time for your prospect, because they don't need to open the email, they don't need to read paragraphs to know what the email is about. And because you're thinking about your prospect, because you're sending emails trying to help them instead of trying to help yourself and make money, they're gonna appreciate it. They're gonna actually open and read it and take the time to reply to you, even if it's a negative reply, which I had when I was doing market research. But I at least get people to tell me, okay, I don't have time now, respond to me maybe in a month, and then book a call, which I actually had done yesterday, and I got a beta tester for my app. So that's, I don't know, proof right in front of you that it works, right? So that's the thing as well. Abuse the first sentence. It is simple as just, instead of writing hey first name, you can write hey first name, and then instead of adding a break and writing something, just write it right here, right? Hey first name, and then add icebreaker text, right? Personalized line or something like that. Instead of just pushing it down, you keep it right here at the first line, or just remove the greeting and add the greeting later on. Of course, we're not animals. You want to have some manners and say hello. But that's the thing. So yeah, focus on that as well. If you want to see how I did it, just look at this video. And now let's go to another thing that Gary Vee says, and that is stop sending bulk or templated emails. Now, the issue Gary had in this video is he got an email that had an issue with the custom personalization. Basically, what you do usually in emails is use custom personalization to add programmatically the name of your prospect, their company name, maybe their role, and to basically personalize email that way. But sometimes it fails and you get an email that looks like this without any personalization, just with some curly braces, right? Now, of course, that's a rare problem, but what another problem is sending templated emails. You see, thing about this is that templated emails don't work very well in 2024, and it's almost 2025, right? Gmail, Outlook, and other email service providers see that you're just blasting the same email over and over again, changing just 3 things 4, 5 things. Well, this is not that much, but you're only changing 4 things. You have 4 variables across all your emails. So of course the email service providers, Gmail, Outlook, Zoho, whatever, will know that you're automating, you're botting this, and you're not a real person, and will push you to the spam folder, will destroy your deliverability basically. So what you want to do instead is, if you're doing this, at least spin tax 50% of your email copy. And spin taxing is just, adding variations of a word. For example, instead of saying hey, you say hey, hi, hello, yada yada, right? Or simply use AI to personalize emails from head to toe. Basically making everything personalized based on your prospects' information, like their LinkedIn profile and website. As you can see here, this is a shameless plug of Salesforge. I mean, to be honest, I think I deserve to plug it, right? I gave you some information here in the video. But yeah, you're using information about your prospect scraped from LinkedIn, their website, and information about the product you're selling to create personalized emails from the ground up, meaning each email you send will be unique, and in the eyes of email service providers, it will be good, okay? Like they will think, okay, this was written by a human, that's good email. And from your prospect's perspective, they are more likely to reply because the email is relevant, the email is personalized, right? The CTA is relevant and soft, not hard, like, come here for 10 minutes, I wanna talk to you, right? You don't wanna do that. You wanna just be, okay, would this be a priority to you, yada yada. And on top of all of that, right, the offer is personalized based on their company, their needs, their pain points, their desires, right, and all of that. And if you're using AI like Salesforge, you shouldn't use other types of AI because they just do terrible compliments. You're working good at company name. No, we don't need that. We need actually great AI that writes great emails. So if you use that, you save time writing cold emails, you increase your deliverability, you reduce your spam rate, you increase your open rate, you increase your reply rate, you increase your call book rate, which means you increase your sales by actually saving time because you're not writing emails yourself, you're not destroying your email deliverability, your mailboxes, your domains, and all of that. That will actually, in the long run, cost you more money. So, I mean, just go explore this for yourself. I'm not just saying this just to promote the app I'm making videos for. It's actually a honest thing because I use it myself. So there you go. Do that instead of plain old terrible templated emails. Unless you're a professional and have great templated emails that work for you, then you can test it against AI or it against a personalized icebreaker text at the start, yada yada. So that's another thing. And lastly, I want to talk about as well is something that was said by Gary Vee, is to be direct. Now, I've been saying this as well in this video where I teach you how to sell anything, a full course, 17-minute video. Pretty sure it's all just about offers. So now what does it mean to be direct? There are two things, couple actually, things where you should be direct, right? So it's offers and CTAs. Now let me explain. So usually what people have is vague offers that don't really tell the prospect anything. For example, if you're doing content marketing, right? Vague offer would be something like, hey, I'll get you 1 million views. That doesn't really tell the prospect anything. Where do those views come from, right? How many of those views will convert? How much money will I make? How much traffic will it generate? Are those just people from different countries that are not my ICP, whatever it is. So instead, what you don't do is be vague and say, okay, I'll make you $10,000 per month or I'll get you 1 million views. No, you see what is the most important metric, KPI for your prospect, right? So for example, you could say, instead of videos, I'll generate you 1 million views. You can determine how many people will actually visit their website because you're not responsible for the conversions of the website, but you're responsible for the people that go to their website. This way, if you let them know how many website visitors you'll bring, they will be able to calculate how much money they will generate from those visitors, right? If you're doing something else like emails, don't say, I'll send 1,000 emails a day for you. No, that doesn't matter. How many of those emails will actually land in the primary inbox is what matters to the prospect. How many people will reply? How many people will actually book a call with me? And how many of those people who book a call with me will show up? And how many of those people who show up are actually qualified to buy my services? That's what matters. Prospects don't care about whatever is the input you're going to do, whatever is the process. No, that doesn't really matter. They matter about the end result, about the cash collected. Of course, again, you're not responsible for some of these things, like you're not responsible for closing calls if all you're doing is sending cold emails. So your end result is only just booking calls, right? Same with videos. It will be bringing traffic to a website. So some things you cannot be in control of, but you should share the most endest result that's the most relevant to your prospect. And by doing that, you'll be more specific and the prospect will know exactly what you're doing, what you're selling. So for example, instead of saying, I'll send 1,000 emails for you a day, you could say something like, I'll get 10 replies or 10 booked calls for you a day. Well, if you did that for 1,000 cold emails, that's pretty good. But with qualified prospects using cold email, you're letting prospect exactly the time frame, which is 1,000 cold emails a day, and that's 10 booked calls a day. That's the time frame. You're letting them know what's the end result. Well, 10 booked sales calls, you'll just need to go and close them. You're telling them the vehicle of how you're going to do this, which is cold email, and you're being super specific instead of just saying, I'll send 1,000 emails for you, and whatever happens, I just bought a list. I'm trying to blast some emails, so pay me and I'll blast some emails. Maybe someone will reply. I don't know. No, you don't do that. You gotta be specific and let them know. Now, another thing is confusing CTAs. Now, if you write your offer, if you add guarantees, if you share case studies, and at the end you just say, how's that? You're gonna diminish your reply rate. You have to be specific, one thing, and another thing is you have to use soft instead of hard CTAs, which I'll come to in a second. So what does it mean by being specific in CTAs? What CTAs are confusing? Well, don't let the prospect know exactly what to do next. So should they look for a booking link? Should they reply to you? What are the next steps, right? What should they do, right? If your CTA is like, hey, do you like it? Or something weird like that, it's not gonna work. But also, if you say, hey, let's book a 15-minute call tomorrow, here's my link, that's also not a great CTA because it's a hard CTA. You're reaching out to cold people that knows nothing about you and you're asking of 15 minutes of their time. Now, it may look like not a lot to you, but remember, thousands of people are asking them for the same thing. So what you want to do is add a soft CTA that's specific. For example, what I do is I say, simply reply yes if you want more information about this, if you want me to send you a video demo or something like that. Something that doesn't require them to do anything almost. Just writing 3 letters. Yes, that's all I need. I need their input so I would know that I can send them the video to take a look at my product, and then I start the conversation, they're curious, and then I pitch them to hop on a call with me, right? I don't pitch them right away, but basically I'm being specific. I'm telling them exactly what to do to proceed in the conversation to get this going, and I'm doing it in a simple way. I'm not asking them for a lot. I'm not asking them to book a call with me. No, all I'm asking for them is to type 3 letters. Type yes if you're interested. Type yes if this is relevant to you. Type yes if this is something you want to solve in this quarter. Type yes if I reach the right person on the team, right? You're doing that. Or you could also do some open-minded questions. So instead of saying yes or no, they actually start a conversation themselves, but A/B test that better and see if that works better or not. So, and now also what Gary Vee said is to be selling straightforward. Now, I made a few examples of what that could look like. I might test it in the future, but I don't know how well it would work, probably depending on your target audience, but I know why it would work. So here are the examples I made by learning from Gary Vee. Here's what, following his advice. So Gary Vee's advice, if you want to sell straightforward, you would say something like this. Hey, what if you paid me and I made videos for you? Let me know if that's something you'd like. Or, and that's the whole email. Or something like, I'd love for you to pay me to make TikToks reels for you. Let me know what I would need to make that happen. Now, this is of course regarding my own product, Vidrain, where I make content for people, TikToks, short-form content. But this would be, of course, about your app. So for example, pay me and I'll get you 10 clients via cold email this month. Let me know if you're free, if you have capacity to take on more clients. Something like that. Of course, like I said, I don't know if it would work, right? You would need to test it with your audience, and I might test it in the future, but here are a few reasons why it works. Again, like I said previously, this is pattern breaking, right? No one is sending emails that are just 2 lines, couple of 20 words, right? So you're gonna breaking patterns. Now, I did didn't. This is actually a break dancer. It's not a pattern breaker, but here's something breaking, right? So maybe not a great graphic. And another thing why it works is all of this we talked about. It's not a bulk templated email. It's taking advantage of the primary text. It's taking advantage of the subject line. It's taking advantage of everything, and basically it's saving time for your prospect. It's being straightforward, which is the strategy, right? And yeah, it's simple. The CTA is simple. It's not like, hey, here's my Stripe link, pay me now. It's just let me know if that's something you'd like, or what will I need to do to get this deal going, and all of that. So yeah, subscribe and have a good one.